But then I gotta watch it because I'm gonna put this story on my back and make sure I spread it to the world because apparently no one's talking about it. That they just found fucking microphones in.
Oh yeah.
That the Yankees were putting microphones in the opposing clubhouse. That like they have
in
Schilling
04?
on,
Yep.
yeah, they have Schilling apparently like on camera being like, that's a fucking camera or a microphone.
Schilling,
God.
And like no one's talking about it.
Schilling and Pedro. I think I forget who found it, but they're the two involved in like that part of the discussion in the documentary. It's Schilling and Pedro both being like, I know what a fucking microphone is. It was a microphone. They take off their mic pack. Schilling lifts up his mic pack, and he's like, it had this end on it. It had a red light on it. It had this lapel mic, and it was hanging in our clubhouse. They found it after game 2. And then it cuts to Joe Torre. And it's been 20 years. You think he maybe has his story ready. And he's like, I don't know. If there was a microphone, I don't know. We weren't doing anything with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is spicy.
Yeah, I mean,
game 2 of the ALCS, they found it.
to me, it's like, you know, I will bring to light all things to make sure the Yankees get hated on. So I'm gonna blast this out, dude. I called into WFAN today. It's a big day for me. I'm happy you're here for this, Joe.
Me too.
I'm retiring from being a Yankee hater.
Really?
Put the jersey in the rafters. After what I saw from the Dodgers this morning, there was a Joel Sherman report in the Post from unnamed Yankees. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Joe Kelly, being like they were relishing that they were going to get to play the Yankees. They were like, this team stinks.
The Dodgers?
Yes. They
Wow.
were like,
the Dodgers were excited to play the Yankees.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
They were like, they are the worst team in baseball fundamentally. They are the worst team on the base pass. They said they were the worst team in baseball on the base pass, and they knew it, and that the Padres are the second worst. And it's like a wide margin between the Yankees and the Padres. And they were like, fundamentally, they're terrible. On the base pass, they're terrible. They don't take big leads. They don't know how to cut off the ball. They don't like I'm sure forever baseball was just like pitching and hitting.
Yeah.
And then like the real good teams have learned like, even like the way I was reading about like how big of leads the Yankees take or how not big they are. The Dodgers were like, oh, this is amazing. It's like that, they break the game down to that level. But they were like, we knew we put the ball in play. They're just going to kick the ball around all over the place. And then Joe Kelly had a quote where he was like, they put up Fat Joe before the fifth inning, which he said he turned to Honeywell, and he was like, that's the Fat Joe curse. We're going to win this game now. And then he goes, and then, they start kicking the ball around the field playing Yankees baseball. And, it's just like the good teams openly being like, this team stinks, and we want to play them. I can't in good conscience be the big Yankee hater guy anymore. It's not. What's the point?
Yeah.
It's not what it once was. When I grew up, it was the big bad Yankees. They're amazing. My team's awful. The Red Sox can't beat them. Nobody can beat them. They have the most money. They spend the most. They win the most. They're the best. Now, they don't do any of those things. They don't spend the most. They're not the best. They don't play good. They don't win. They used to have like consummate pros, the Jeters and the Bernies and the Posadas and like everybody who could like play, Paul O'Neill. And now it's like they said the Dodgers were like appalled with how often balls would just be like flying in from the outfield, like skidding across the infield, no cutoff man to be found, nobody like active balls. They were just like, we were just running the bases. And I just, it used to be like, I'm a Mets fan, but I would root for whoever is playing against the Yankees. And there was always one team in the playoffs, whether it was eventually the Red Sox, but it was the Tigers and the Angels and whoever would stop them. They were like my favorite players and favorite team because they did me such a service to like stop this dynasty from happening. And now it's like, if teams are being like, we want the Yankees, I don't think there needs to be like, we need to protect the realm anymore. And somebody said it's like rooting against the Cowboys now. It's like, you'll do it, but it's not like, we got to stop America's team. It's like, they're going to lose and we'll have our fun. But as far as me being like the most important thing in the world is making sure the Yankees lose, it just feels like, yeah, we know that's going to happen. If the good teams are out here being like, they are a bad baseball team.
The Cowboys is actually a great comp because you're rooting against them, but you're also like, I don't really care. They're going to beat themselves.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not even like, it's like that. If the Yankees were a great team and then had that fifth inning, it would be like oh my God, I can't believe it. They did that all season long and all postseason long. It was just that the Royals and the Indians stunk. So it was like we can make all these errors and just like, we'll have Juan Soto hit a home run eventually and we'll win this game. But you play against the Dodgers, against the real team that does all those things, you're going to lose. And so I just feel like, I'll always dance on their grave. I'll always,
It's not a full retirement.
clink. Yeah.
The Don is
Brett Favre.
semi-retired.
I'm Brett Favre. I'll pop out here and there. But I just don't think it has the same je ne sais quoi anymore. It's just like they're going to – I mean, I wish I was more vocal about it because when I was like, the Dodgers are going to thump these guys. And they actually didn't play nearly as well as they did against the Mets. If the Dodgers that were in the NLCS played the Yankees, it would have been a sweep and it would have been like 10-0 every game. The fact that like half their Ohtani did nothing and Muncy did nothing and they kind of stumbled, but they still just waxed them. It's just – and they're going to lose Soto. And they're not going to fire Boone. And they're going to make the same mistakes. They're just – this is just it. This is just it. And It's the pinnacle for me, and it's the bottom for them. And until they make, like, wholesale changes. Like, I bet the guys on the Yankees don't even know about the metrics the Dodgers are talking about. Like, I bet you the guys are like, what, how big my lead is? Like, what are you talking about? I don't even think about those things either. But the really good teams are doing, like, all of those little things that, the Yankees are just known to be, like, shitty slackers. Beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful time to be alive. I know you guys, I feel like Red Sox fans kind of moved on once they broke the curse, reverse sweeped, and then won 4, to the Yankees, 1 over the last however long. But I'll join you.
Has yours changed?
No, I still hate them. I still hate them and love watching them lose. Because most teams, after a while, like the Cowboys, we hate them, but then I'm like, after a while, you're like, it'd be fun if the Cowboys were good again. The classic logo, the star on the helmet. Like after like Bama, when they weren't good, you're like, I'd like to see Alabama be good. Now I'm tired of them again. But the Yankees, I always want to fail and lose and suck. I really hate them. And they were like atrocious. I mean, and I thought like, maybe you guys talked about this already. Who do you put it more on, Cole or Rizzo on that
Everybody.
play?
Everybody. I mean, I put it on Cole because, like, it's just, like, pitching 101. Like, you just break to first base. Right. If it's a foul ball, if it's a, if the ball goes that way, you just go that way.
But he broke front. He broke forward.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
So he did move, but he went the wrong way. But then you have just fat, old, out-of-shape Anthony Rizzo, who looked like he was playing in a beer league softball game. Like, just kind of, there was probably crazy. 0 chance he was going to beat Mookie, but, like, dive for the fucking bag. Yeah. Give me, like, at least show me you
particularly
try.
with Yankee fans who show the Jeter Nomar comp to go back to the comeback. Like, that was, you and I disagree on that. I think, and you and I might as well, like, I don't think there's anything Jeter could have done. I think Jeter did.
Oh, when he went into the stands?
Yeah, I don't think there was any showmanship to that. Like, I think that was.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
He could have stopped. Like, he
caught the ball in fair territory.
He caught the ball in fair territory with one. He took one more step.
I'm just saying, if you catch the ball in fair territory and you end up in like the 4th row.
But you're in a full sprint from second base.
Turn.
I don't think there's any, particularly when in the comeback they highlight that a lot because of the Nomar Jeter situation, and like they show it 10 times. Like he couldn't have fucking done anything other than dive into the stands there.
Please.
But fuck, was I gonna
Rizzo?
say?
I mean, but Rizzo was like
particularly Yankee fans are used to that,
right?
And to get
it did seem like Rizzo. I put it on Rizzo a lot, like. He just stood there, just gave up, and
the only
was halfway down the line.
It was kind of like a cue ball, so they were like he couldn't really charge it because he had to make sure he fielded the ball. So, but then fucking run, dude.
Yeah,
run to the base. And I mean, I don't know whether it's just the top speed for these guys, but him and Stanton. I mean, look, he's even still like. At the very end, he's a step or 2 away. Like, just dive, slide, just something that makes it look like you at least tried.
But Cole is heading to the bag and
then he just
goes,
stops and points.
Right, but I think he's like, Mookie's about
best.
to fly past me, so you take it. And
then this one. The
that
best.
Was great. That was great.
That's his only error of the season.
And then Volpe throws one into the ground right after this.
I love that one, too, because I didn't really have much hate for Anthony Volpe until they were waxing poetic about him being a Yankee fan at the parade and loving Jeter. So it was like Mr. Yankee fan who became the shortstop. He botches it. It's a tough play, but still. And then the Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole, like you could not. I literally, as a Yankee hater, couldn't script a better meltdown.
And then was it Volpe too that didn't score from second? He ended up scoring that inning on the fucking the bomb. He's just kind of chilling out
They
there.
just don't do any. Oh, did somebody break this down? Let's see. Let's see what the rule is. Rizzo has to come to the ground. The spin on the cued ball is evident.
I don't know, but like you said, just make it look like you care about the World Series.
Right. And then, but you also then have to just give credit to the. I mean, it was 5-1 after that.
That made it 5-1. Yeah.
And then they just got a single and a double, and then the Yankees took the lead again, and then they just gave it right back. Like it was not really, it was not the ninth inning, it was not the final. But boy, and I didn't realize that no team had ever even forced Game 6 after being down 3-0 in the World Series. So if they win that game, you already say, hey, we already made history. So let's just go do it again. And Cole going back out there for 2 more innings. I mean, it's just, and Cole, that Garrett Cole is just motherfucking Anthony Rizzo, and Anthony Rizzo's got to be going in his head. I don't know, you didn't fucking cover. I don't know what they said publicly, but I'm sure they both were.
It is great. I think Cole's World Series line was 12.1 innings pitched, 1 earned run. It's a monster World Series.
Well, but also when the 5 unearned come because of your error, I kind of feel like those runs are on Cole. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like pitching wise, yes, he did the did what he needed to do.
But he can't beat Mookie. I feel like Rizzo could beat him there.
Yeah. Well, if Cole takes the right path and busts it, it's 60 feet to
Mookie's at a full
90.
Sprint.
I know, but you're running it's 60 feet to 90 feet. If you run just right to the
you're
bat.
saying if you
Cole
took the right,
where Cole was, there's no way he can beat him because he's basically like neck and neck with Mookie.
Yeah.
The Yankees also almost had another huge blunder where Soto was jogging home and they tried to take second. That was on the sac fly. I was like, that was so close.
That would have been
another
I don't even think they
thing.
realized it.
No, I don't
that's
think
what's
so
crazy is I don't even think Soto was like, oh shit, thank God I scored there. Or Chisholm was even thinking I got to make sure Juan Soto knows to bust it down the line because I'm going to try to take the extra base. They're just bad. They're just bad. They're old and bad. And I love it.
I also lost respect for Rizzo between this play and then I thought it was quite Bush League that he was walking 40 feet within the play against the guy that's never bunted. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he went flying in on him.
He's just walking in. It felt very Bush League to me to be I felt like he was trying to get in his line of sight.
Yep.
And he was walking 40 feet away.
But also the difference here is Mookie busted his ass out of the box. Kike Hernandez running from second to third as hard as he could on that Volpe ball. They just try, and the Yankees don't.
I also just read a thing while I was out waiting was that Garrett Cole's only the 4th pitcher ever to pitch 6 unearned innings in a World Series. It's
really?
Jack Morris and John Smoltz did it in the same game in '91.
Wait, the first to pitch what?
6 unearned innings in a World
Series history?
In postseason. What did I just see? I have to find it. Maybe you can find that.
You're saying unearned runs?
Unearned runs.
Yeah. I mean, that makes that's a lot of
unearned.
That's a lot, and be to give up 5 unearned runs and then go back out there for 2 more innings.
It might have been a deciding game of the World Series. It was on Instagram. I'll never find it.
Once you lose it on Instagram, it's in the ether forever.
Put in John Smoltz. Who did I just say? Jack Morris.
Smoltz was one pointing out the whole thing about the guys taking their lead as well, and I was like, I guess these are just where we're at in baseball where they finally let's see, Garrett Cole is the 6th pitcher with a start of 6 innings and 0 earned runs while facing an elimination.
Oh, since 1990. Excuse me.
Yeah, that is I mean he definitely did his thing, pitching.
I should have known since 1990. I'm sure Walter Johnson pitched 75 innings unearned runs in
I don't even know if I think that Cole might be the last mega contract, or I think should be the last
for
mega
starters.
Contract for pitch. It's just you might get 6 out of your starter.
Right.
Gone are the days of Schilling going 8 innings.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
also
gonna happen.
I'll say I'm going to keep talking about it, but the comeback a lot of them went 6. I thought they were going 8, one earned. A lot of those games were Pedro's out after the 6th.
I still think because I do think in the postseason you got to have a little bit of a quick hook, but it's just not even like Pedro's going out there, be like, I'm gonna try to pitch 8 today.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if I run into trouble or we need to, we're playing in the National League, I got to DH or something like that. This is like, I mean, prior to this, Cole never threw 100 pitches.
The Red Sox had
like-
Alan
it's
Embry
insane.
and Tomlin and Folk, right?
Yeah.
And those are the guys also, you just throw them out there and you're like, I don't care if you die out on this mound.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Dude,
like, you're just going to throw until you get these outs, man.
in the first episode when they're talking about like they have Grady Little. And
Right.
that's like you're talking about like analytics and stuff like that. Like that was the birth of like the 95 pitch count for
Yeah.
a pitcher. And they're like it's just everyone motherfucking Grady Little.
I'm still upset with Grady Little, and they've won 4 World Series. I'm still furious. I honestly think
Because
it is.
he let them in.
Yes,
That's
for
what you
like
guys are mad
5
about, right?
hitters.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's the worst coaching decision in the history of American professional
No,
sports.
no,
And he doubles and triples and quadruples down
it's
on
so
it.
much
It-
worse than I
And
remember.
Alan
is
Embry
crazy.
was like lights out, and Pedro sucked the 4th time through the lineup or whatever it was, or third time.
Third time.
And his ERA shot up, and
Yep.
Embry was like pitching like .053.
They
See,
got-
that's why I don't want to watch it. I remember it all.
They have-
it's all up here.
Yeah, because
They
it
have
was just
Embry-
it was like Bernie, Jeter, Posada, like everybody just getting like
And
hit
he just
after hit
kept
after
him
hit after
in
hit, right?
the whole time.
He thought so. Pedro was told it was after the 6th. You're done. Night's done. So Pedro put on his jacket. He's good to go. He's like he's just chilling in the
that.
dugout. And then Grady Little goes up to him and goes, "Can you get me Nick Johnson?" And I don't really remember Nick Johnson, to be honest. I'm guessing he was an 8-9 guy. And Pedro's like, "Yeah, I got you." And so he goes out, gets Nick Johnson, looks at the dugout. Grady's just sitting there. And
The fuck out of
and
here.
he's like, "So I guess I'm still." So they're cutting back between all these interviews, and Pedro's like, "So I guess I'm still throwing." And then next was, I forget the order, but then he might have gotten the next guy, and he looks at the dugout, no one's up, and then it's Matsui. Matsui hits a double. Grady Little comes out, and he goes, "Can you still go?" And then it cuts to Pedro. Pedro's like, "You don't ask a wounded warrior if you can still go. I'm gonna tell you, I
yeah,
can
that's
go."
the
Right.
job of a
Right.
manager is to always protect the guy from himself.
Right.
That's why- Anybody who's a competitor is going to be like,
Right.
I'll keep going.
But then it's like so.
It's like getting me mad now. Like, motherfucker.
It just keeps cutting back to Grady Little going. "Oh,
And
yeah,
how
no."
and what was the lead there?
Sox were up 1, maybe 2.
Okay, because it was just like like hit after hit after hit after.
Yeah,
hit.
and then I think it was Posada who ultimately got like the tying hit.
Jeter, Bernie, Posada, and Matsui all got hits. I
yeah.
think.
Crazy, crazy.
Oh, it was bad.
I did not know that Pedro was like. I always thought it was like Pedro being like, "I got this," and Grady Little being like, "I can't tell Pedro Martinez no."
No.
But the fact that it's the other way around is fucking insane.
Well, it's also Pedro never liked being pulled in an inning, so to send him out there for one guy is also like they
he
almost
wants to
never would
finish.
take him out in the middle of an inning.
Yeah,
he would
yeah.
finish.
Oh man, that I got to watch that too because that was
It's
one of.
awesome.
I mean, like again, there's so many Yankee haters out there that it was like. I would love to know. I would love to like jump into your body and feel how happy you guys were, because I kind of think I was just as happy. It's probably not because it was your team and your curse and all that. But when the sweep happened, I was like, I think this is the greatest. At that point, it was for sure the best sports moment of my life. Probably still is. I was at Fordham at the time, and me and my buddy from Cleveland, who was a big Indians fan, we went to the bar, and I mean, it's a bar at a New York college. Like, just there's gonna be people there no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
We were the only people in the bar.
Yeah.
For Game 7. It was Game 7. They I mean, everybody just knew it was, and I think me and like a couple other people, it was empty because they just were like they knew what was coming, and then that game was over within like an inning or two with that grand slam, and we just. Two guys just drinking all night long, like by ourselves in a bar in the Bronx because everybody was too scared to come out of their dorm rooms and shit. It was amazing.
Also, the forgotten guy of that, I'm sure they talked about this, Mark Bellhorn hit the game-winning home run of Game 6 of the ALCS and Game 1 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like, he
Bellhorn was
had
the
like
best.
2 game-winning home runs.
Elmhorn and Millar and Miller and a bunch of them are just like dirtbags.
No, Nixon's the dirt dog, dude. Dude, Nixon.
Dirtbag, bro.
Dude,
Love him.
Nixon was the fucking best. It's like you go through it. They have so many. My only complaint of the documentary is that it's. I think Manny just didn't want to be involved. So then there's only so much you can talk about a guy who doesn't want to talk about it.
Right.
But like Manny is not portrayed as like. I mean, he won World Series MVP that year.
Yeah.
Like, he's not portrayed as like a guy who's still getting it done. Like he's kind of portrayed as like the locker room malcontent and It's like, well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
he always had Manny being Manny,
Right.
but he could fucking hit the shit out of
That's
the
why
baseball.
Manny being Manny existed, is because he was fucking raking, dude. Oh man, the slap with A-Rod and the fight.
I forgot that they fucking finished the game with the police on the field.
Yeah,
Riot
it was
cops.
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
That's when
Royal.
baseball was baseball, man.
That was beautiful. Well, that also felt like a new thing because that was the same game as the Bellhorn home run that originally was a double, and they got together. Like they got together on 2 plays, the umpires, to fix it, and it was like I'd never seen that in my life.
Yeah, I remember just walking around. I was pretty young at the time, and I remember just watching with my whole family, and we're like, I'm just pacing around the basement. I so vividly remember this. We're just going, just get it right, just get it right, just get it right.
No, I had left I was like in the kitchen watching from afar and came running back. It was glorious. I mean, I can like cry. I'm like a little girl.
Yeah, no, I
it was
mean that
tremendous.